Okay.
Hello.
Hey, how are you?
Good.
Hi.
Yeah,
Hi.
you've already got ants in your pants. I like it.
Yeah. Before we even start, we have the big Kansas City Tort Dan, talking S.
I don't understand how that works. Like, we don't even start the live stream yet. We can still see the chat from people chirping
blowing up our spot, saying we're not going to be on until 5 till.
that their free show is a minute late.
Yeah. Oh, now we're getting critiques from Boston Steve.
Oh,
B-. Not too bad. Yeah, you know what, guys? You know what? We'll be back in 5 minutes.
And Adam, it's a 101.
Boys and girls at home and kids in the gallery, let's go!
Hello, Pack-A-Maniacs, and welcome to another episode of Pack to the Future. I'm your host, Ricky, a.k.a. Mr. eBay. And I'm joined by my co-host and partner in crime, Dr. Chad.
Someone called for a doctor.
How you doing, Doc?
I'm bowed up and ready for these Broncos. I'm ready for NFL playoffs.
I'm ready, too.
Yeah.
After last Sunday, I can officially say I'm ready.
Yes. Yes.
It went my way. Well, we got a fun show for you guys tonight. We're going to cover some new releases. It's been a minute since we've done that. We're going to talk some hobby magazines. We're going to talk. Chad had a ghost come home with him, maybe. Broncos, Lions, Wendover.
Yes.
What more do you want from us?
All the things. Hey, and we're back in the studio together.
Yeah, that
which is
feels
good.
so right.
That's going to tie together with the ghost hunt thing, believe it or not.
Oh, no.
Yep.
It might be coming on with me.
You laugh now, buddy. You wait. It's going to get real dark.
Well, before we jump into all the hijinks and hilarity, Chad, do you have any show announcements?
I want to remind some people of some things, and mostly remind people of our YouTube. Certainly for everyone who's watching there now, we'd love it if you just take a second to click that little like button. And if you are not subscribed, please subscribe. Turn on your notifications. We try to go live with this show on the YouTube every Thursday night at about 9:45 plus or minus 15.
Yeah.
But that can vary.
Yeah.
And you turn on those notifications, and that way you can find out anytime that we are live, join the chat, or you can at least watch it after the fact.
100%. And it's like, follow us on our Instagram. You get into the secret club. We let you know when it's time to get in.
Exactly. Because usually at some point during Thursday, I remember to post that and remind people about that. So Instagram, you can find us, is the best way to communicate with us at Pack to the Future Podcast over on the Instagram. We also have a website if you want to get all of your Pack to the Future podcast needs. Podcast, videos, you want to check out our affiliate links, all of that can be found at pttfpodcast.com.
Mm-hmm.
That's pttfpodcast.com. While you're at it, and while you're doing perhaps a little card shopping while listening to the show,
Yes.
you go click on that website, click on the affiliate link tab, which you'll see on the top right. Go click on the eBay, shop as planned, free for you, and the guys get a little cut in the process.
I love it. It's free and takes you almost no time at all.
That's right. Just do it to help us out.
That's right.
And we love you. As far as announcements there, one of our affiliates that we tend to sponsor, I think let's transition into that. Unless you got anything else.
Magazines? Is that
Yep.
what before we do that, what I was looking for over here is...
I'm going to turn off that heater as you're doing it.
I can, yeah. Did we get rid of the card court music?
I don't
Oh, no,
I
we
haven't
didn't.
taken anything off.
We didn't. And I've got it. Well, Chad, when you prepped our outline tonight, my heart sank as I sat down.
Oh, no. Why?
And I'm calling myself out to card court.
Oh.
Kenny Benson!
Yep. Wait, shouldn't you be yelling your name?
Yeah. Yes, you would think. Kenny, I let you down. You sat through an entire Secret Santa 2-hour extravaganza, and I let you down. We didn't get your package on time. Then we let you win the puzzle contest. Chad and I rigged it that way. Exactly. And then last week I said, your gift card and prize is on the way. It's still on the way. I will be putting Kenny's package in the mail mañana. I promise. I'm so sorry, Kenny. I felt so bad. I didn't give it a second thought after last week's show till I just sat down and read his name. I have it all packaged up on my little table, nice and neat. Just got to walk it over to the little PO.
I was worried today when I went on the show's Instagram. And sometimes if there's important messages or messages I need to go back to, I'll mark them as unread.
Yeah.
And we still had one unread and I didn't see it at the top of our things. So I scrolled down. I'm like, oh no, it better not be Kenny's where he sent us his address.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh God. Oh God. Okay. So here's what I'm going to say. I'm going to tease it now. It's not going to make a whole lot of sense.
Okay.
Then I will show him the edit for the latest ghost hunting video. It will make more sense shortly.
Yeah, I already have a feeling I don't want to see that. So I'm going to go ahead and get that in the mail first thing tomorrow.
You should. You should. Do you remember the
Kenny,
ring?
the Pack to the Future podcast most patient listener.
Yes. And he hasn't said a word.
Not a word. He is too nice. We don't deserve him.
Can you take yourself to court?
I just did.
Is that a thing? Have
don't
you
know.
ever had someone be like, hey, I
I'm going to
got to file something against me?
That's a first. That's a first. We're setting legal precedent here on the Pack to the Future podcast.
That's
You're
what we
welcome.
do.
What more do you want from us? That's it. We'll see you tomorrow or next week. Oh,
As we're going through our show here,
Mhm.
and thank you because I almost jumped right over that.
no worries.
And I will be texting you as soon as I wake up in the morning and
Please.
every hour, making sure you got that tracking number.
Please do. I
Uh,
need it.
Boston Steve, he's having some back issues.
Oh,
He wants to know how he gets the butt shock needles. If you may recall from a year ago, God, it may have been a year to the day that I had my last butt needle in. Boston Steve, you don't want any
Was
part
that
of
a
those
year
butt
ago?
needles. Yeah,
that feels like yesterday.
it was a year ago. Oh man, that was like the hardest 4 months of my athletic career. That was a tough time. You don't want any part of those needles. Those needles are thick, they are long, and they go deep. And then they hook them up to electricity to shock you.
Just felt right.
I'm sure that's someone's kink out there, but you don't want any part of it. I can tell you that with certainty. Boston Steve, I hope you feel better soon.
Well, and that's the thing. Like, if someone said, "Hey, I'm going to poke you with a needle," I think I'd want it in the ass. Like, that's the meatiest spot. So if you're saying it hurts that much, think about that. Like, your butt is probably one of your safer zones,
Yeah, there's a lot of meat there.
and for it to really make an impact.
Well, here's the thing. Anyone who's had dry needling before is like, oh, those needles don't hurt that bad. No. They tried the dry needling for a month. And after it didn't work, he's like, okay, I have something a bit bigger that I want to use. This thing was thick. It was not the little flimsy chiropractic needle or the acupuncture needle that you see people just pop right in there.
What was it?
No. Big, thick, and deep, right in the butt. And then they hook it up to electricity. They don't even light any candles. You get no dinner. It's just straight in there. And
And
the
then
great thing is,
Straight in and out.
my butt's hanging out. Like I'm butt up. I'm in this massive physical therapy complex that's at right next to my clinic, which is like a major orthopedic center in Salt Lake City. You know how many hundreds of people just walking right by my
See
table?
that well butt?
And I'm just ass up. Okay.
Face down, ass up.
Yeah. So, buddy.
Ugh.
All right. Well, yeah, there's that.
Yeah. I like this. Well, let's see.
Let's get to the
not
magazine.
Yeah, let's get to the magazine.
One other announcement that we have to make. If you live under a rock and are not on Instagram,
Big news.
Basketball Card Fanatic this week announced that they're stopping production of the magazine.
No.
Adam called me probably a week to 10 days ago and just said, hey, magazine's doing better than ever. Subscriptions are up. People are doing great. He's loving it, but he has no time. And I get it. He's got a family. His family's growing up and he doesn't want to miss things. So initially when I had the phone call, it kind of took me by surprise. And I was like, okay, I get it. But then it's like, damn, this is a really cool piece of the hobby that a
Yeah.
lot of people are enjoying and it's going to be gone. So if you're not aware, of course, if you do have a subscription, you will be refunded for that. I had people reach out wanting to get this issue in particular. And if it may have seemed weird in my messaging that I urged you not to buy a subscription, know that I was simply trying to look out for you.
Yeah.
Because I knew that was there, but it wasn't my place to announce it. So if you haven't done so, if you're familiar with the magazine, reach out to Adam. Just tell him thanks. I think it would be much appreciated from him, because I know it's been a hard week for him to announce this.
Yeah, it's the greatest hobby magazine that's existed. Maybe the only one, but the one that jumps out to me is the greatest since Beckett.
Yeah.
And Beckett was irrelevant when we were 10.
He had a great run, 52 issues.
It's incredible. And it's a bummer, because I think that he had the time to continue to grow this thing. I think it's something he could have sold off eventually, made quite a bit of money. I mean, it's that good.
When he texted me and said, "Hey, can I call you?" I knew it was either, "Hey, we're selling this," or, "Hey, I'm done with it."
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so a bummer, but on a happier note, this issue.
Yeah.
Ricky, your article finally got in.
What? I ended the magazine?
You ended the magazine.
What?
So 2 things with this. My role with BCF was simply as a second editor to look it over. And
that was your only job.
My only job. I get to read it before everyone else. I get to see how cool the pictures are, like all the stuff. My only job is to edit it. Now I'm going to let you in on a little secret. I edit these things pretty comprehensively, and then they get put into article, like journal format, into the magazine. And that's where the designer puts them in. But things that are not in there initially are things like the index and the advertisements, because that's his job to pop in there.
Sure.
And it's my job, make sure it looks good.
Yeah.
And I've got a formula, how I go through it, right? When it comes to the articles, I'm like, okay, I already know I've been through these 2 or 3 times. Let's make sure there's no duplicative stuff, make sure things got around, and everything looked great with yours. I made sure that the index, that the page numbers lined up, because sometimes that can get tricky when you're putting in ads and things.
Right.
I totally screwed up. We got the title of your article wrong.
Because I'm just a jerk.
I'm so sorry. I don't think Adam even knows. I don't think anyone knows. I opened it immediately.
Well, now 17 listeners now.
When I went back and put, like when I was updating the website, immediately my eyes were drawn to it. I was like, no, the last issue ever, and I screwed it up.
Because I'm just a jerk.
So the index, we screwed up the word. The title of your article is Blast from the Past That Will Last. Yet in the index, it reads Blast from the Past That Will Last.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yep. And that's why it got missed. The spelling's right. It's just the word is not correct.
Not in the right order.
It's not in the right order.
On the article itself, it looks like it's right, though.
It is.
So that's good.
And in the article itself, which I have right here in front of me, and I want to show people, there may be 1 or 2 of these left, but otherwise, I mean, they're selling out. Everyone is buying all of these since they're out of production.
Dude, I got a full page spread.
Will you sign this for me?
Hell yes, I will.
So Ricky's article was on the 92 Upper Deck Shaquille O'Neal autograph that you had. And Ricky's got, a beautiful photo of the card in there, and then a 2-page article. That's all you.
What?
Yep.
Yes.
I'd love to have you sign it, my man.
Where am I signing this bad boy?
Yeah, this is, you're going to get to play the role of the athlete here.
I feel like
think of all the
Cam
people
Rising.
that you have mocked
I
for their
know.
bad autographs over time.
Know. And now,
and don't be them.
I feel like I've been throwing stones, and now you put me in a glass house.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, people are commenting that you didn't end the magazine. I did with my poor edits. So that hits home and just feels good. Yes, sir.
And if you guys haven't gotten to know us well enough through the show, like, this is something that will eat Chad for the next 2 months.
I didn't even know how to text it to you. And finally I did. And I'm like, dude, I'm so mad at this. Like, this wasn't my magazine, right? It's my buddy Adam's magazine. And he worked so hard on it. And the only reason he called me is like, dude, I just need another editor because the previous editor had quit. And I'm like, I can do this job. I'm like, first of all, I don't know that I'm the right guy for it, but I've taken a lot of pride to try and make sure that it's good, because it's not my magazine. It's his, and I wanted it to be good, and I totally screwed it up.
Dude, you did amazing. It's amazing. I couldn't be happier to be in this. I did an article you asked, and I was happy to do it. I liked writing. There was a time in my life I wanted to be some sort of writer or or reporter in written form, sports reporter.
Oh yeah.
And so, like, of course, I was going to do it. And then as I got there doing it, and I enjoyed writing about it, but I'm like, I don't know if anyone wants to even read this. And at the very end, I'm at the end of it, and I'm like, this is what just jumped to my mind: a blast from the past that will last. It just made me laugh, all the rhyming.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Perfect.
So, I wasn't even super tied to the title. Like, to me, the fact that I got to be included in this magazine, that's all I care about.
I'm glad you
All
did.
I
I didn't know it was the last one until after it came out. So that is good. As Ricky signs that, and
Here we go.
I appreciate. Oh, there it is. If I send this into PSA, at least we can send them a copy of this video, and they can authenticate it and know that it's real.
101, baby.
Yes. Yeah. Look at that. Love it. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. You're
Thank you.
welcome.
And thank you to Basketball Card Fanatic. It got me thinking a little bit, and we don't need to go off on this, but I'm like, it would be really cool if someday we did something for the hobby that was like, he posted on this on Instagram. His Instagram just blew up with messages saying how much they enjoyed it, like the content. I'm like, if we could ever do a fraction of that, then we've done something with ourselves.
Yep. I agree. It was mind blowing to see how much response he had.
Yeah.
Reading through it. I mean, it was a novel, and they kept coming.
Yeah,
they did not stop.
And so the thought of that is actually going to tie into our main segment of the show, which will be our goals for this next year, which we'll get to in a bit.
That's right. Well, thank you again to Adam. That was seriously an incredible magazine. And if you never picked one up and missed the opportunity, I mean, head over to BCF Mag if they have any left this last issue. But if not, be listening to this show. We may be giving away one or two.
Hey,
I may have a connection.
Hey.
So
website looks great. No misspellings there. Took special care to make sure that one was good.
All right. Well, before we jump into some of the other craziness, Chad, are you good to do
I'm good.
some new releases?
I'm
for
good.
us?
Yeah. So Sarah did the new releases. However, she is helping one of our mutual friends move into a new house. And Sarah's like been helping out with contractors and all these things. So she's upstairs doing that stuff. So why don't we do these?
The Two Bulls.
You got a background music for us?
Oh,
we may need it. We don't know what the hell we're talking about. That was perfect. Except your shirt's still on somehow.
By the way, just as an aside, how far are you through the first episode of Raw?
I am through.
Not completed.
I'm not completed.
I haven't either.
I just got through the women's title match.
Okay, me too. So we're about the same spot.
Our listeners are just great. Can I tell you how great they are as an aside? I have one of these lovely Back to the Future tumblers. Is this a tumbler?
Yeah, I'd call it
That everyone received as a part of Secret Santa.
Uh-huh.
It's a lovely gift from us to them.
Uh-huh. It's an excellent.
One of the recipients kindly pointed out that my straw is upside down and that I should fix it mid-show. So let me just derail what we're talking about to fix this so that Boston Steve doesn't have to look at this egregious act of upside down stratum.
Dude, he's looking for bumps in your straw.
He's get a needle in his ass, I think. All right, so we got some new releases. We got 4 of them. Here's the first one. We got 2024 Bowman Best University Football. And I think it's worth at least briefly mentioning here out of our new releases. I know it's not the top of everyone's checklist.
Sure.
But there's some things with it. So here's what Becca has to say. Bowman Best University Football might be the trading card equivalent of a well-doodled notebook. Now, when you hear that, I don't even know what to make of it.
Yeah.
Content-wise, there's plenty on the checklist.
I'm thinking Trapper Keeper with some of their designs.
Yes. Yes. The look is different from a lot of other releases, including Bowman Chrome University, in that there's a lot going on. Lots of lines, plenty of color, and bold approaches are a hallmark here. So let's take a, oh my God. Look at this. The first card that we're showing here over on the YouTube, Garrett Nussmeier of LSU. I don't even know how to describe what this card looks like. It is lines of gold and purple.
Yeah. Wavy lines of golden purple. It looks like it has almost some snake skin in the middle.
I've never taken acid, but I would have to imagine this is what that would look like.
Yeah, that would be my guess as well. I should also say I've never taken it. Also,
Just for clarification.
for the record.
They have a napkin sticker auto. They have a triple sticker auto. All of these just look very weird. I don't love this insert, which is
Let's go.
making the, let's see, which one is this? Field day or making the grade? Oh, this one's let go. Let's go. I was like, how did he know that? But it says it like 20 times on there. And again, it's the reading comprehension.
We got you, man.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Making the grade, it's like a report card, the old bubble, fill in the sheet. I wonder if, do people still do this? Wax Museum, Kyle, when you listen to this podcast, go watch on the YouTube. We are at 21 minutes, 38 seconds. Do you still have your students do this? Like, do kids still do this? Fill in the bubbles?
I don't know, man. It drives me nuts, and it gives me PTSD. I was tested in elementary school to move to the gifted program, and they tested me with these bubbles right before lunch.
Yeah,
and I said, I've had enough of this. I'm missing good recess time. A, B, C, D. A, B, C, D.
Really?
In order. Flunked it out. They pulled me aside and said, "Yeah, you need to retake it. We know that you couldn't have possibly done that."
I was going to say
tried.
define gifted, because like gifted can mean two things.
The more advanced intellectual
I
classes
see.
within elementary.
Well, no, they had
Not special.
So Sarah,
gifted is
Sarah came down
gifted,
here. She's going to take
special.
over here in just a second. She's giving me a look, but honestly, in Salt Lake they had ELP. I don't know if that's like a nationwide program,
English is like.
but there were different things.
What's ELP? Why is it?
Like an
Escalated?
elevated or escalator, something learning program.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
But like in my school, it was an elevated thing. But I heard other people tell me that it was not. And maybe they misspoke and said that they called it ELP and it wasn't ELP. But that's why in my mind, I'm curious
No.
what type of gifted it was. Anyway, we don't have to go off on that. You don't need to correct me on it. I'm just saying I was curious at which one it was.
People were being mean to you, Chad. ELP is across the nation a accelerated program.
People or my wife? All right, let's move on to the second product. And let's welcome onto the show. Here is Miss Sarah. Sarah, you want to take over for Topps Archives Baseball?
I know where we are for Wednesday. Thank you. For Wednesday, January 9th, 2024, Topps Archives Baseball was released. It is listed as a nostalgia bomb, drawing from several decades worth with content, both in design and players. It takes a something for everyone approach. The themes may be old, but the cards are new with a variety of chase elements. This includes the promise of 2 on-card autographs in every hobby box. With the 300 base set, there are 3 different designs seemingly chosen at random from the flagship Topps Baseball Vault, 1961, 1970, and 1994. I feel like those are weird years.
Yeah.
Fan favorite autographs return as the main source of signatures. Collectors can expect a mix of names from the past several decades, some who might not sign a lot of cards today. It was very coy. I was not able to find out.
Yeah, did they say who?
No,
Oh,
no,
Interesting.
it was just very
it's
coy.
kind of a weird tease.
Yeah.
Like the base set, designs are rooted in past flagship releases 1968, 1983, 95, and 2000. Parallels are available in 5 levels, all series numbered. So there are 3 different boxes you can get your hands on. There's a hobby pack, a collector pack, and a value pack. You get 8 cards per each of the packs, 24 packs for a hobby box, 10 packs for a collector's box, and 7 packs for a value box. You get 10 boxes per case for both hobby and collector, and 40 boxes per value case. Each hobby box has 2 autos, 12 inserts, 8 pink foil board parallels, 2 additional serial numbered cards. You're looking to spend $200 for a hobby box, $130 for a collector box, $25 for a value box, and they appear to have a blaster box for $35, but that wasn't mentioned on the Beckett website. I think those are pretty reasonable prices for what you're getting.
Yeah. You're not
Maybe.
wrong. It's kind of high for baseball, though. Like
Oh, is it?
baseball tends to range 100 to 150 for these types of products. I feel
Oh, okay.
historically, but to your point, like or to your presentation, I think a couple weeks ago or the last few weeks that you've done it, it feels like baseball products are getting more and more expensive. It feels like this is Fanatic saying, "Hey, we're the lowest tier of the hobby. That's big three.
Yeah.
We're the cheapest. Time to end that." That's kind of the feeling I'm getting.
That's too bad if that's the case, because I think that's been one of the draws for baseball
I
collectors.
agree.
And the prices are more realistic as to what they
Yes.
should be. I think most importantly.
Agreed. And you're right, Sarah. Like, this is something that is within the range that I'd be willing to spend. So you're right. It is reasonably priced.
I just think with the
And all the autos and
on-card autographs, I noticed to look for that. But there's even something baseball related coming up. Is this like, I guess I'll learn after a year of doing this, but is this like a baseball release season? I feel like,
well, that's the thing everyone complains about. So I think intuitively, this is a good time to ask this question. We don't have to derail it, but
no, you're fine.
How much baseball have you seen me watch in the last month?
not a lot.
No. I mean, think about when the World Series ended.
Right.
I mean, you mean the dog celebrated?
Is there baseball going on right now?
No.
Oh, okay.
Which is why I thought this too when you sent me the list today. This is prime football season.
Yeah.
All of the big football products, like if there are going to be more and more, should be coming out now, but it is not. It is baseball. They are chronically behind.
Oh, okay. So the other thing released on Wednesday was the 23-24 Panini National Treasure Basketball, which we spoke about back the last time I was on the show, which was the episode prior to Secret Santa. So probably over a month ago. So if you're interested, you can listen to that episode.
All right.
So we have 2 more products coming out this week, Friday, January 10th. So depending on when you're listening to this, 2024 Topps Definitive Baseball. I tried really hard to cut this down, and there was just so much cool stuff.
That's cool.
So it does not take its name lightly. First, you're not just getting 1 or 2 cards per box. Here it's 8, 6 total autographs and autograph relics, plus 2 memorabilia cards, all numbered to 50 or fewer. Topps has also added chase elements that put more meaning and stories behind some of the cards. Outside of cut signatures, all autographs in 2024 Topps Definitive Baseball come on card. While Definitive does have a base set, it's all autograph relics. Standard versions have no more than 50 copies. Definitive Ultra Patch collection cards have... Is there a game going on?
We're listening.
Come on, squirrel, keep going.
Oh my God. So they have pieces of numbers, nameplates, and team logo patches. Put all copies together, and the entire patch can be formed like a puzzle. Autograph patch book collections out of 5 or less cards feature both current and retired stars. One of the areas that Definitive is adding something extra this time is with autographed first batting glove cards. Numbered to 5, these have pieces of batting gloves worn when players accomplish a significant first, like hit or home run.
Oh,
that's pretty cool.
That's damn cool.
That's
Red
pretty cool.
parallels are one of ones. Protectors at the plate autographed relics are unique for Topps baseball products in that they use pieces of game-used protective gear.
Can we pause for a second? I'm showing a photo right now of the glove that you said. The thing that I love the design of it. Like, it's got a player, it's got an on-card auto, it's got the piece of the glove. It looks great. It looks like a National Treasures card.
Yeah.
Why doesn't it highlight like whatever that significant accomplishment is on the front of the card?
I agree. And maybe, they need more detail. Maybe they need to tell the story more and it's on the back.
Yeah, maybe it's on the back.
Better be on the back. It better be.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. Keep going.
Well, so it says that means pieces of things like shin guards and elbow pads instead of the more typical and often generic jersey and pants. When I was reading this, I was wondering if there was like a cup or something.
Dude, if someone has a jock strap, I'm all in.
I get home, I have 5
All in.
cases of baseball on my front porch. Sarah's just ripping through them.
With me. We're gonna find that jock doc. That could be a t-shirt. We're gonna find that jock doc exclamation point. I'm wearing that to the national.
These have no more than 5 copies
man.
each. I just think that's interesting. Game used protective gear. It just-
Yeah, and we've seen it a little bit, not with the protective gear, but we've seen it in the past. They've come out occasionally with like laces and the
Oh,
tongue of their cleat
yeah.
or the bottom of the cleat with
That's cool.
the spike sticking out. Tim had one of those, and
Yeah.
they are pretty cool looking.
Card
so
is so thick though.
that's the only thing.
Oh.
Like, what do you do
can't-
with it?
Right, it's going to be hard to store, to put in like a display with other cards, but they are really cool, and I think that's super cool. A new way to add some pieces of memorabilia to
Yeah.
a card.
That's awesome. Okay. Past, present, and future stars can be found across definitive autograph collection out of 50 or less, definitive rookie autographs out of 50, and legendary autograph collection out of 25 or less. For those looking for something a little more metal, there are framed autograph collection and framed autograph patch collection cards. Base versions for both are numbered to 30 or fewer, with purple out of 10 and red 1 of 1 as the lone parallels. Among the famed autographs is the first MLB card signed by Shohei Ohtani in both English and kanji.
Dude, isn't that cool?
Oh, that's awesome. That's incredible.
That is really cool. I can't even imagine what that card's going to
Do you want me to sign your magazine in kanji?
You didn't? Dick? He signed my magazine when you were upstairs. 'Cause he wrote an article in the last issue of BCF
That's so cool.
I
Yeah,
did the magazine.
about a Shaquille O'Neal.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I had him sign it.
That's really cool. Is that the last?
Mhm.
That's
yeah.
the last one.
Yeah, we
Mhm.
talked about it. Yeah.
All right. New this year are definitive quad autographs out of 5, which keep the on card theme. Definitive cut signatures are all 1 of 1. So it was saying, so I tried to cut this down, but if there are cut signatures, they're special in some way because they tried really hard to keep that out of there. 8, so it's 8 cards per pack, 1 pack per box, 2 boxes per case, and it's a 47 card set size.
Hmm.
Each hobby box has 6 autos and 2 memorabilia cards. You're looking to spend $2,500 for a hobby box.
Wow.
Nope.
I guess that's why I thought the other one was a good price.
Well, by that comparison, you're 100% right.
Wow. That is really pricey. That has to be, I would imagine, the highest end baseball product
That I've
exists,
seen. Yeah.
right?
I think they're trying to up their game. They definitely went all out with like the out of numbers. Like there's nothing more than out of 50 for their cards.
Yeah, very rare. I'm sure you'll get some really big names in there, but that is
Yeah.
expensive.
That Shohei Ohtani card I thought was really cool.
I'm trying to buy us into a break right now.
Oh my god.
They have a pick your team, but they don't have the Tigers or the Dodgers.
Damn it.
No.
All right, the last one for this week is 2023 to 24 Panini Contenders Optic Basketball. Has all the tickets and some of the same inserts as the season's regular Contenders release. However, this time everything is in chrome and the configuration is something focused more on autographs and premium chase elements. With 5 inserts and parallels in each hobby box, that leaves room for just 1 base card. The end result is something that's fairly tough to build as a complete set. Base cards use the same season ticket theme as the other Contenders releases. The cards are kind of cool looking, but also not interesting.
They're very busy.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize when you showed this to me
Mhm.
that it wasn't just regular Optic, that it was Contenders Optic, because Contenders has this very classic look to it. And I've never particularly liked it,
Mm-hmm.
but I mean, some people do.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of it either. The ticket look, it just bugs me, the layout.
Yeah.
But
It doesn't
want-
actually look like a ticket.
Yeah, I would want an actual ticket, not
Right.
like a
Yes.
yeah,
A
agreed.
stamped on ticket.
right.
Now they
Like-
did miss the mark. They could have put actual tickets to old games in as patches in that
Yeah.
little
Oh,
slot.
God, that'd be so
That-
cool. I
that's
mean, we've
what I
talked
was
about some of
thinking.
them, right? That
Yeah.
some of them do.
Well, that's what I was thinking until I saw them and I was like, oh no, they're just using it as like a way to display information, in which case, like, take that off. I want to see the whole picture.
And then they like make like the row number their height and
Yeah.
the seat number their weight or whatever.
Yeah.
Portal.
Yeah.
It's like
That's just not as cool. Like, I don't care about that.
right. It was
I don't
fun
care
the first
what
time.
their height and weight is. I just don't.
I agree.
So both veterans and rookies are included on the checklist. Other hard signed inserts on the 2023 to 24 Contenders Optic checklist include 1986 tribute autographs and Hall of Fame themed induction ticket autographs.
Mm.
So 6 cards per pack, 1 pack per box, 20 boxes per case, and it's 132 card set size. Each hobby box has 1 auto, 2 inserts, and 2 parallels. Look to spend $325 for a hobby box.
I mean, it makes sense. It is the 37th year anniversary of that 86 set. So why not?
I don't understand sometimes the years, but I thought maybe it's something I was missing.
And just
No.
as a reminder, no Victor Wembanyama autos in this set.
Oh, that's right.
Why?
He has an exclusive deal, not with Panini.
Oh,
With Fanatics.
these things I should probably learn.
Well, that's why.
You will.
That's why I say it. I mean,
Thank
he
you.
does have base cards in here, just no autos.
Okay.
All right.
Well, I'm signing off with who gives a fuck about an Oxford comma? I do.
Hey, I do too. I'm big on the
Are we going to
Oxford
edit
comma,
that,
I
or
swear
are we
to
just
God.
marking that as an E for the episode?
E?
E.
I'm all in
E
on
sounds
the
good.
Oxford comma.
It is a song that they play on the radio. It is.
Oh,
And
the
they-
look is just, I don't know what you're talking about.
that's one song
Yeah.
they do play on the radio. Here's one song they don't.
E it is. Thanks, Sarah.
Thank you, Sarah. Oh man. Oh, where do we go? Where do we go? Let's see.
Well, we got
Uh,
some things. So next up,
Is it time for this?
you got. Yes, I was gonna say, do you have that Undertaker? Okay. So I've got a story for you guys.
Do we want to keep playing this?
Yeah, let
I
it
think it's
roll.
good. Okay.
For the next 3 to 5 minutes, you're gonna get some ghost stuff, and it's not like it's scary and it's real, and I don't know what to make of it, but I want to share it with you. I think.
Chad, for those that aren't behind the scenes, I forgot this probably isn't the
It's broken in half. It's gonna be me pretty soon.
Chad. Like when we go on these ghost hunts, there's no nonsense in the fact in the way of like if we want to fake something or joke about something, Chad's not gonna let that slide.
Nah, not here.
He is totally on the up and up, totally legitimate. So when Chad came down tonight and you told me, dude, I am terrified. Like it's got me a little on edge.
And I don't know if I actually want to talk about it now.
You have to. You already started.
Okay. So if you recall, a month ago, I was in Mineral Wells, Texas, for the Haunted Hill House, which is purportedly one of the most haunted houses in the nation.
Yeah.
When we were there, we heard voices that came from inside of the house that were standing next to us and weren't there.
Right.
Ever since I've been home, I have had some things happen that I cannot explain. Every time that I go to edit the video, and every time that I show someone an edit of the video, either bodily harm comes to them or something else weird happens to me.
Wait, what?
And that's
I know.
I
and that's
honest to
not,
God,
Chad won't lie about that.
I
He's
honest to God
100% serious.
almost don't want to talk about it because I know some weird shit's going to happen over the weekend by me talking about it. Seriously.
Well,
I made a list that I'll run through it.
Okay.
The first week we get home, Max, the dog that we've adopted, we've had him for a year and a half, never once bark in the middle of the night.
Mhm.
Twice, 2 out of the first 3 nights from when I get home. You know, he sleeps in our bed. He's awakened me in the middle of the night, barking feverishly, staring at the hallway. I'm like, okay, maybe he's rattled when I was gone. You know, he's attached to me. He's a good boy. So I start to put together all the evidence. Our friend Jamie, who's a part of Dr. Ghost Hunters, I show her a clip of a voice that we capture. And it's a terrifying voice. It says, "Get out." It is blood curdling. The first time we heard it, all the hair that I have left on my head stood straight up. And I showed it to her. That was about 2 weeks later after I got home. Max again, middle of the night, wakes up barking.
what?
I then, a couple days later, show it to Sarah. I've got the intro clip done.
Mhm.
For the first time in 5 years, Sarah finally catches COVID the very next day.
True.
I put together the edit. No more Max barking. Max is good. Put together the edit of the rough draft. I wanted to send it to my dad and to Jason. The day I send it to them in the Dropbox that night, send it to him about 8 o'clock. Of course, Max barks again. I text them the next day. I'm like, hey, did you guys watch it? Like, no, we didn't get a chance. We'll watch it today. So both of them watch it that night. Sure as shit, 12:30 in the morning, Max barking his ass off. So I've got that one on film. So I get up and look around the house to see if there's anyone here. He's just staring like into the front room barking.
What?
And there's no one there. The next morning I get a text from Jason. He's like, I watched the video last night. He said, I have been throwing up and it's coming out the other end nonstop today.
Well, there's 100% chance I'm sharding tonight.
I tell my friends about this last night. We go to the hockey game. Some of like one of the other docs in my clinic and one of the PAs and her boyfriend were there. I was telling them about it. I'm like, all this stuff's really weird. They're like, yeah, something followed you home. I'm like, I don't know. It's just, I don't know that I believe in that, but it's weird.
Yeah.
Before you come over tonight, put in some more work on editing this thing. Because at this point, I just want to get it out there. I want to sage myself, sage the house, and be done.
Yeah.
I go to pull up that intro that I finished 2 weeks ago. The video file, gone. It's corrupt. It's corrupt. I can't play it.
What?
Every time that I talk about the video or the happenings of this, there's supposed to be a demon in the house. That's the whole bit. And every time I talk about it, something happens. So before the Bronco game, I backtracked just a little bit. This is the last piece.
Yeah.
For the Bronco game, I'm scrolling through my phone. I'm like, okay, I think I've got all the videos. I just want to make sure I've got all the pieces together before I send off the video to the owners of the house. They have to approve it.
Sure.
Got some contract with them. And I see this video that I forgot existed. So we're up in this demon's room. We start to film. We've got all of our equipment going off. All of it. My GoPro dies. All right. Sometimes that happens. I pull out a battery out of my pocket, pop it in, brand new battery. That one dies again. All the equipment again, just going berserk. So I start filming with my phone.
What?
And we're filming it, and all the equipment just keeps going off for minutes at a time. I hand the phone to Jason, and I'm like, hey, I need to go. and get another battery for the GoPro. So I hand the phone to Jason. He's still recording all this stuff going on down at the end of the hall. Our little command central is downstairs.
Right.
So you hear me walk down the stairs. The activity for the first time in minutes stops. I'm gone for a couple minutes. You hear me come back up the stairs. All the activity again. Boom. All I can think to myself, that thing was following me in the house.
Yeah, you have a hitchhiking ghost.
And followed me back here.
I know.
It was a week later that I edited that magazine.
Nailed it! Nailed it! About halfway through that show, you want to go into our YouTube. We're at the 44-minute mark. Go watch this story. Deputy Dog saw this one coming a mile away.
Every part of that story is true, actually, including the magazine part. It wasn't going to be a part of my story until I saw you give me a little look halfway through sound, and I eyed that up. But it's just weird, man. It's just weird. So some weird stuff happened, and here's another one. The demon stopped the magazine. I've never ever considered like attachments or demons or things like that, but I'm talking with my buds last night, and the boyfriend of the PA at my job,
Right.
he's like, dude, this is perfect. And he works in marketing.
Perfect, huh?
He's like, yeah. He's like, you have the best clickbait for a video. He's like, this is your way out of medicine. He's like, the first 5 seconds of the video, he says, this is what you say. I fear for you for when I show you this video.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
He says, here's your hook. I don't know why it's so funny. If you watch this video, you will shit yourself. Because Jason spent all day, shitting
Dude,
himself.
I'm going to sit on the toilet when I watch this video. Come and get me.
Have your Sharp first aid kit with you.
Dude, I opened that thing. It really has all those products.
Does it have holy water in there?
It really has a pin that I can put on that says, I just survived a shard attack. Dude, come and get me, demon.
Man.
I'll be ready.
So hold on. All kidding.
No, all jokes
Don't
aside.
say that. Don't say that about this thing. Like before
Yeah.
Jason and I have made commercials. I think we showed it on here of like us making fun of like demons and the whole thing.
Right. You're now you view that completely differently.
Yeah, I'm completely. So it's really weird. We're gonna have that video come out and people can watch at their own discretion. But it made me think of you
Oh,
on the sharding thing, hence the last 5 minutes of that story.
that's incredible. I'm dead serious. I will be watching that on the toilet. And once that's ready for posting, we need to make sure we give an update here on the show.
Yeah.
That's definitely must watch. I'm telling you, man, Chad is more about authenticity than entertainment when it comes to the ghost hunting. And there can be some down times and some slow periods, and he rides through them. He doesn't make stuff up to keep it going or to make it more interesting. This is the real Chad. And if he's really that freaked out, you want to watch this video.
Oh, so there's little blink cameras inside of the home that some Reddit forum. I mean, this house is huge. Like everyone talks about him. It's very well known. Some of the Reddit forums are bashing this house because of the blink cameras that they have there. And when I read that, I knew those cameras existed, but there's different versions of the blink cameras. I called the owner of the house and I'm like, I need you to send me photos of this blink camera. I have to know what version it is to know whether or not you're making this stuff up.
Oh,
If you want to know the answer, you're gonna have to watch the video.
okay.
But
I'm excited.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
When are we thinking on that?
I
If
want
you
to
don't die,
So I want to finish it tomorrow. I'm going to have to add the new hook.
God willing.
If you watch this, you will shit yourself. So hopefully within the next week or two.
Love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Love it. All right. Well, we got some football going on, man.
Yes, we
We got a hell
do.
of a game going on.
Yeah, we do. So we are currently watching Notre Dame Penn State. And during Sarah's read, for those of you listening, there was like the last Notre Dame touchdown. The guy made just like a heroic run.
Yeah.
And that's what I was looking at you at. And she caught it out of the corner of her eye. And she's like, what? That's what that whole thing was about. But yeah, this is a great game, but also NFL.
Yeah,
Oh,
buddy.
man. Big
Dude.
weekend for us. Last week was a big weekend for us.
Last week was a really big week, and you texted myself and Jason from Dr. Ghost Hunters, and who's also a big Lions fan, and said, "Hey guys, we got a big day today. Let's get ready."
Mm-hmm.
And I agreed with you. I was happy for the camaraderie, but to tell you the mindset I was still in, remember last week how pissed at God I was going to get? I was kind of annoyed that you were texting me. Not really. Like I was happy to hear from you, but annoyed at like, fuck, dude, he's going to have the Broncos game over by 4 p.m. and know that they're in.
Yeah.
And then I got to go against little brother. Oh, I was losing it.
And still, by the way, as a quick aside, special thanks to God for showing up last week on the episode.
yeah,
Did you send him a care package?
that was Satan. That was Satan.
Oh, that was Satan.
That was Satan.
Well, no wonder. No wonder all this stuff's happening. You invited him here.
Yeah, I did. He might make another appearance down the road. We just need the other soundboard.
You asshole. You're behind all this.
But yeah, no, we start the Lions game and man, I'm not having fun. I'm watching it alone. Kyla by design said I can't handle this. I said, great, take the dogs. They hate it when I yell as much as Chad's dogs hate it. And I'll strap in. And what made it worse is my wife, for her second job, got up at like 3 a.m. to go do inventory. And so she was in bed by like 9 or 10. And so I'm sitting there with headphones in so as to like let her sleep.
Oh, yeah.
And then just going, yes. So thankfully I had you and Jason to text at that point.
Oh,
'cause
nice. Okay.
You were my saviors. And then even in that second half, I was telling you, and not that no one cares about your fantasy team. I get that. But I was going toe to toe with my my number one rival, my cousin in our family league. And I was up 1/2 of 1 point going into the game. We each had a Minnesota player and
That's brutal.
pulled it out by a point, baby.
Yes, sir.
But I didn't even enjoy the second half. And it wasn't until the game was over. I'm like, that was fun. So yeah, playoff time, baby.
I'm excited.
And you hit a pretty decent bet. I
We
believe.
both hit a
We
little
did.
something. So one of the bets that we made preseason when we took the gambler out for his birthday,
Yeah.
I put down 2 bets on the Broncos to make the playoffs because at first when I made like those 10 bets,
Yeah.
one wasn't enough for the Broncos. I'm like, no, the Broncos are going to make the playoffs. I got to go back and do it again.
I wish I would have done that.
And I think when you guys were playing blackjack and you guys joked that I was back at that,
You sprinted
No,
back
dude.
to it.
it was to make that bet. So I won over $400 on the Broncos making the playoffs.
Yeah,
How about
buddy.
that?
And do you have any other pending bets with the Broncos from that window?
No, yes, but I think it's over. It's if Bo Nix wins Rookie of the Year.
Okay.
But I think Jaden deserves that one and will win that one.
Probably right.
Yeah.
I hit the first of my 3 pending. Lions took the NFC North, thank God.
Yes.
Now if they go to the Super Bowl and or win it, I will potentially hit a couple more.
In which case, we're going to need to collect our money.
Yes, we are.
And
Do you have any ideas for that?
you know what I got in the mail today
Because we were just talking about our bets just the other day.
is
days ago.
this little flyer here from your Passport Rewards offer to Window.
Ah.
There's some things here. There's different dates in February where you get $10. Oh, look at this. $10 free play and a free deluxe room.
Mm.
Maybe we enjoy a romantic evening out there.
Dude, they have heart-shaped jet tubs.
Let's do an episode
From the tub.
from the tub.
From the tub. Bubbles and just topless up. Headphones.
Yes. Who's not going to want to watch that?
Dude, we'll get 1 million listeners.
See, we do that. And then we have like a rival to Hobby Hot Tub. John Newman. Remember?
Yes.
We're just going to have to come up with some sort of jazzy jacuzzi.
Hobby Hotel.
Hobby Hotel.
Hobby Love Shack.
There we go.
Oh, man. How you feeling heading into the playoffs?
For the Broncos?
Yeah.
I think they could be a little bit of a sleeper. Now, I'm a homer here. I got all my Broncos gear. You see this? I added some decorations up
Yeah.
here, including my new Von Miller I got from Secret Santa.
Love it.
They're sneaky. The Broncos could be sneaky. They beat Buffalo in Buffalo last year, and that was with Let's Ride. And that guy's an idiot.
Yeah.
So now we got Bo Nix. Maybe they could do some things.
Hey, I'm a big fan. I really would like it if you could eliminate Buffalo for us.
You know who I
Assuming
think?
we even get
You know who's going to win this thing? It's either, I think, one of 3 teams. I think your team is 3rd.
Okay.
I think Baltimore's going to win the Super Bowl.
Really?
Yeah, they're the best team.
Okay.
Philly, if you have a good run game and you've got a top tier wide receiver and a quarterback who's competent, you can win the Super Bowl. Philly can win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
The Lions, I fear, have too many injuries.
I worry about the exact same, and that will be what does us in. We may lose our first game. I am legitimately terrified of that. It's going to come down to the injuries.
The Chiefs stand no chance. And I will say that not only because Dan is here, but also because they will not win. They are the worst 15-1 or 15-2 team
Yeah.
ever.
Yeah, they haven't been particularly impressive. Although I can't sling too many arrows. The Lions feel kind of the same way. And with all our injuries, like there have been some games we've had to get in shootouts with people and other games where we had to get creative against Minnesota the other night.
Sure.
And so like we've been pretty close as well. But yeah, this team does feel different. It feels very talented, very loaded, but the injuries do worry me particularly on defense.
Yes.
I think that there's a chance. I think there's still an okay chance that Detroit gets to the Super Bowl and maybe even pulls something out. But I agree with you. It tends to feel like a long shot with those injuries, and maybe next year is going to be our year. But let's see how this goes.
Offense is so explosive for Detroit, though,
So many
that you're
weapons.
never out.
That's
the game.
That's true. And all of our weapons, and David Montgomery is supposed to come back. He's going to try and come back for the playoff game.
He kind of controls the clock a bit more for you guys, right? It's just
Yeah.
kind of like more of a
He's our
bruiser. Pick up
pounder.
the okay.
Exactly. But gives Jahmyr Gibbs some much needed rest. So he's very important. Yeah, I just, well, and what makes us dangerous is in addition to how many weapons we have offensively, receivers, running backs, tight ends, they are completely selfless. In fact, they've highlighted on a couple Lions games how St. Brown's getting targeted 2 or 3 times, but he's out there blocking his ass off.
Yeah.
And like lives for it. And you
gotta love that.
yeah, you watch these players on this team on social media and they just love each other. It feels like team ball, which is so special and makes you feel like a lot of like the Spurs were real good at that. Team ball championships, right?
Mhm.
And that's kind of what it feels like. So, I don't know how to feel. I've never been in this position before in 40 years.
Yeah.
I'm nervous. I'm excited. I'm hopeful. I don't know. I'm trying to manage my expectations, but man, I'm just so excited to have a week off and get to just watch some
Yeah.
playoff
Stress-free.
football. Yeah,
And this is the best weekend of football watching. Like this weekend and next weekend, in my opinion, are the best of the year
agreed.
because you got
Agreed.
2 games Saturday, 2 games Sunday.
And then they tail off after this upcoming next couple weeks.
Yeah.
I agree completely. But I do think it's going to be a lot of fun. Bill Barnwell can go shit in a hat. Shit in his hat. He picked the Packers to win the Super Bowl, go to the Super Bowl. He picked like the pack. I was trying to pull it up.
I don't know
he
who.
picked.
I don't know that man.
He's some fat guy that lost a lot of weight for ESPN. He can go shit in his hat and then put it on. He picked the Lions to the Rams. Now, the Rams and Packers in the NFC Championship.
So the Rams are going to have a tough road. We'll take this wherever you want to.
No, please.
They move.
That's all I had.
They move the game
Officially.
Yeah.
See, I'm so thankful that the Lions
Isn't
aren't
that
in that shit
awful?
show. It's awful. It's horrible.
Oh God.
It's horrible for everyone.
That
there.
would just be my worst nightmare.
Oh yeah, no, it'd be terrible, and it's going to impact their game.
Yeah.
I think that gives Minnesota, frankly, an edge.
Yeah.
You're going to have fewer fans traveling.
Yeah.
Out to Arizona. It sucks. But yeah, no, Bill Barnwell. I don't know what you were smoking, man. But
No, Green Bay will not be.
oh, it was Green Bay, Kansas City is who he picked in the Super Bowl.
No. And you know what? Little John's out here talking about the Chiefs.
Mhm.
This sounds like a bet that needs to be made.
Yeah.
Dan, I'll take the field.
Yes.
Give me the field. Dan, I don't know how you want to wager, what you want to do. Like, you want to put a tort on the line. I don't know what you would want in return from me, but it's not even going to matter. Just ship the tort here. Do it now. It'd be even better if the Broncos are the ones who beat you.
If you need,
Because if the Broncos win this week, they're going to go play in Kansas City next
hell
week.
yes, hell yes. It will. If you need some ideas for Chad's punishment, I've got some. I'm a good idea, man.
Oh, God. So get this. I make this top 5 ghost hunting video of the year, like our top 5 clips of the year. It's good, like ghost hunting evidence. Nobody watched it. It's like the worst performing video we've ever had.
Oh no.
But we had like 4 or 5 comments on there, and every comment was more Chad Triton in 2025. And that was because of you.
Dude, I just know what works.
Everyone. Everyone made that comment. They want more of my nips out.
Dude, Boston Steve wants to jump in on the bet.
Yeah. So Dan, where you at? Put your money where your mouth is.
Oh, this could get interesting. This could get juicy.
Yes.
Oh, all right.
Where are we at? God, are we almost at the end of this?
Yes, thank God.
God, no kidding.
Let's tell them what we want to do in the new year and get the hell out of here.
I like it. In the new year, we want to make our shows shorter. We'll see everyone next week.
Hard stop. Why don't you? I'm going to get some more background music.
Okay.
Feels like
That sounds good. So we thought it would be an appropriate time. We don't want to do like a whole resolution guy. I don't know if you're a big resolution guy. Like, I'll try and reset some goals. I think
Yeah.
it's a good time. I'm a big believer in goals. I always try to have them. Sometimes I don't, and I lose my way. And if I have a goal, it gets me out of bed in the morning. So
sure.
like, well, with the hobby, let's see if there's anything that we could come up with that may guide what we do for the next year.
Yeah.
And I was surprised that I came up with more than one thing, to be honest with you. And I came up with 4.
I'm surprised at how similar a lot of our stuff is.
Oh yeah, you see mine on there?
Uh-huh. And I'm going to let you go first.
The first one was inspired by our top 25 list that we created. And going through that, I realized I have a lot more cards than what my goal was from a year or 2 ago, which was to consolidate to 25 or 50 cards and have that be it.
Yeah.
But as I went through, I realized that there are still another 5 to 15 cards, maybe even more, depending on whatever price range I pull out of a hat now, that range from the $50 to $500+ range that are not some of my favorite cards.
Yeah.
I want to sell them. I have more fun in the hobby when I'm actively engaged as opposed to waiting for my side hustle to replenish my funds. Why not let someone else enjoy these cards
Right.
and really make the cards that I have be a true representation of my collection and be meaningful, and something that I can focus my attention on.
Yeah.
So I want to get rid of cards, and I truly want to get down to like a couple of sets that I collected, some childhood stuff, some nostalgia stuff. But as far as like good cards go, keep it at 25.
Okay.
So that's the first part of my goal.
I think that's a really good one. And I'll kind of match you with the ones of mine that are similar. I too like, and I'm different level. I'm much more of a hoarder of cards.
Yeah.
And in trying to clean up my home office several times and seeing how my cold storage is full of cards, I'm like overrun with cards, and I'm tired of it. I don't know that I will sell to the extent that you do, but I need to get rid of a lot of my junk. And I think it's part of this new year. I'm with you. I like to set a couple goals, and Kyla and I both went nuts in the house after the new year, just cleaning out everything, throwing out everything.
It
all
puts
the
my
stuff.
mind at ease when I have less clutter.
Agreed. I'm with you. And so that is a big goal of mine, to go look through everything I have and say, do you really want this? And I hope to cut it down by half, at least.
Oh,
half,
wow.
at least half.
I like it.
So we'll see.
That's a big goal. I like big goals.
Yeah, it's a big boy.
My second goal is to start fresh on eBay. My eBay save searches are so exhaustive. The list is so long that I don't even click onto eBay anymore because I don't know where to start. And my incoming new collection is so all over the place. I'm going to delete all of them.
I love it.
And just start new with a focused attack on whatever I truly want to collect.
I hadn't even thought about that. And I totally relate to what you're saying. Like, I get on and I'm like, I have all these, I have Cam Rising, Bowman. Do you know how many brand new ones hit every day? Thousands, right?
Yeah.
Like, and it's like, I don't care about any of these. Why do I have this saved? And you're right. You get pigeonholed into those saved searches. And all I find myself doing is just clicking on those instead of looking for something new.
It's like a doom scroll of eBay.
Yeah.
Now, the one thing that I don't like that I researched before the show is you can't mass delete them. So you have to go through and individually delete your save searches.
Yeah.
But it's going to be worth the time. It'll probably take me 20 minutes to do it.
Put some football in the background.
Yeah, it will make, I think, my hobby experience better for the next year.
Totally agree. And I might follow your lead on that. My eBay related goal is I want to reset my shop, and I want to sell some more cards that I have on there. I've got like a little box of cards that I definitely want to sell.
Yeah.
And listen, it's not going to be 2020 Mr. eBay junk box Lucas. This is going to be like little dinky cards for sure. But it's just something to do and get some of the clutter out and get a little extra pocket change for it. I'm kind of sick of my eBay store sitting so stagnant. So
Yeah.
I clearly need to adjust some prices, lower them. And I just want to try and get them out there. Maybe run a few more auctions, even if they bring low numbers, just to see what happens. Get back in the game.
It gives me a little bit of an itch, not quite the same as opening up cards or buying cards off eBay, but even selling like gets me back in the groove of hobbying. And I enjoy looking and see like if I can send an offer to someone. And I don't know. It's kind of exciting to me. That's why I can relate to that.
Agreed.
I have two left.
Okay.
One of which is very non-specific. I really want to commit to our YouTube experience. And I think part of this was seeing the outpour of love towards Basketball Card Fanatic and what hobby content means for some people. I don't want to be that. That is not us. That never will be us.
Sure.
I don't want it to be us. But if we can add even more value to what people are doing, with still just you and I, like not having to put more time in, like just still doing our thing. But I think that there is room for me to scratch my creative itch, not be followed by demons home, and be able to put time into that and be able to give a little something to the community. So that's one of my goals. Very non-specific. I'm going to try and knock that one down a little bit more and get more specific with it, but something that's been on my mind.
I like that. And I'd be interested in seeing where you go with it. And I'd be happy to help brainstorm it. And I think that's a great idea.
It sounds like a date.
It is.
Sounds like a brainstorm date.
Dude, in the heart-shaped hot tub bubbles.
That's perfect. I'll bring the strawberries.
Done. I'll bring the chocolate sauce.
Yes.
This is my one goal that's totally different. So I'll use this opportunity. I watched the Netflix series, 3-part series on the Red Sox Yankees 2004 playoff series.
Yeah.
And man, I just remember I was big into that series in college, watching it. I had so much fun every night coming home to see what would happen and cheering the Red Sox on. And just because they hadn't won in so long, and it was so much fun. I remember it, and I've watched all the documentaries on it, and I find them so fascinating. I think baseball autographs are relatively cheap. I think I'd like to try and collect the 2004 Red Sox and Yankees teams in autographs.
Oh, that'd be cool.
How cool would that be? That'd be a cool hand-me-down, I think, to grandkids.
I like that.
Especially if they get into baseball, to say, like, this is one of the greatest achievements in baseball history.
Some of those could get pretty pricey, right? Because
But A-Rod's only selling for like a couple $100.
Jeter might be pricey.
Jeter would be tricky.
Was Rivera on that team?
Yes.
I'm just going to
He'll
assume
be,
so.
Big Papi might be, but he might sign a lot. I don't know. I haven't looked into this.
I don't know if Manny was. I don't know if Pedro was. Like, these are just all the names that stand out. I'm sure people who are fans of those teams right now are just cringing, but those are the ones that
I picked
coming off
up,
the
I
top.
think, a Pedro for My Secret Santa.
Yeah, yeah, that was a cool card.
Nice and not cheap, but not over the top expensive. So
that was one of the ones that you researched through a deep dive of his Instagram account, found out he did not have, and then you bought it.
Found out he had 5 of them and then bought it anyway. Yeah, no, I think it would be really cool. And honestly, I think it's shocking. Even you're right, there are going to be some pricey ones in there, but I don't think those will touch Jordan's autographs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
that's a good point.
baseball just tends to be cheaper, and I think it might be a really fun collection to go after. And I'm talking top to bottom. If you played in a game, I want your autograph.
I like that. I think I have 2 left, and these are loose goals. I'm going to gather my thoughts. I'm going to steer away from what I wrote on here. Instead of buying a bunch of cards on eBay in the spring like I typically do, I
Mhm.
want to make a point to save that money and take it to National and have a good experience there. It doesn't mean I'm going to find the cards that I want,
Right.
but if I do see them, I want to be able to have it there so I can share in the experience with everyone who's there. That's number 1. Number 2, I want to collect a set.
Mhm.
You know, I've dabbled in the thought of collecting Galactics WWE and never committed. I dabbled in the WWE Prism. I still haven't opened the box of the cards that you gave
I was
me.
going to say, you might want to dabble a little more.
But I want to have a set that I chase, because that's what got me into the hobby, the 92, 93 Upper Deck, the one that you wrote the article about.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of fun. It's a good way to not have to spend a ton of money.
Mhm.
And that's something I want to get back into. So I'm totally open to suggestions
Okay.
from you, from listeners, of what set I should collect, whether it's something that is inexpensive or expensive and I should go after long term. And I know I've said that I would do some over time, but I just haven't.
Yeah.
But I want to know what people think set wise I should collect.
I love that. I think that's a great idea. And I'll be thinking. And I hope our listeners do weigh in and send us at Pack to the Future podcast on Instagram some ideas. Maybe we can cover that next week. Some of the best ideas highlighted. Maybe there'll be a prize. I don't know. We'll see how I feel.
Why don't you send out Kenny's box first?
I know. Maybe you'll get it. Maybe you'll get it 6 months from now.
Before the show, Ricky's like, make sure you bust my butt about this. And like all during Card Court, I didn't bust your butt at all. So it only
Thank
took
you.
an hour 8 for
Hey.
me to get there. But I got you.
You eventually catch on. I've always said that about you. I agree with you.
That's why I was in ELT. Sarah, I
You-
brought it full circle.
These may be famous last words. I don't think I want to buy boxes this year.
Oh,
I mean, not
Whoa.
ever, but like to your point, I want to not buy random shit on eBay. I want to not buy boxes. I want to save up my money. I too want to have a good experience at the National.
dude.
I know. Save this. Record this moment. An hour 8.
When we had on, oh my God, I can't think of his name. The Donovan Mitchell super collector.
Ross. Berman.
Ross. When we had Ross on, and he's like, Chad, you have to stop buying boxes. He's like, your experience is going to be so much better. I love my collection now so much more
Yeah.
than when we would do WrestleMania and remember, and like SummerSlam, I'd go open 10 boxes and I
Yeah.
would get so mad when I hit nothing. It's a life changer.
It is. I think so.
You don't get the
And
dopamine itch, the little rush.
Well,
opening
and that's
a
why I
box,
say,
but
like,
it's still fun.
someone may catch me Sasquatch in the wild once or twice a year, right? Like ripping a pack in the corner of overtime. But yeah, by and large, like I don't want to put my focus there. I've spent too much time on these boxes and they're too much of a disappointment. Part of the problem is that I keep thinking that opening boxes now is going to be like pre-pandemic. Problem with that is pre-pandemic, you could buy 15 boxes, not break the bank. So you were going to hit something eventually.
Is
Now
15 the number
I
that you're
don't
looking
know.
for?
I don't know, but it was absurd how cheap cards
Yes,
were back
yes.
then, and now it's just too expensive, and so you buy fewer boxes, so your odds dwindle, right?
Yeah.
So you don't get good hits. I haven't had a good hit in a while.
Yeah, you've really got to really hit the lottery and just doing that. If
Right.
you're going to buy an individual one.
So I'm dumping a lot of money into going to the national already. It's kind of been a frustration for me of like, okay, you're paying all this money to go pay more money to get a card,
Yeah.
right? I know it's so much more than that, and I've kind of phrased it, and now with this reframe, I'm actually very excited that you're paying for the experience, you're paying to see all these cards, maybe get some autographs to hang out with friends. I want to be able, I don't want to like get there and be like, oh, I've been buying boxes all year, I have like $200 to my name for cards. No, that would be awful.
Right.
I'm like you, and I'm going to adopt just right now part of your plan, which is to have a plan, and that is I'm going to identify some cards that I'm out there looking for, and if I see I'm getting, unquestionable, and if I don't see them, I won't put the money on it. But I'm also going to put aside a chunk of money that can be spent on anything cool I see that I didn't think of.
I like that.
Maybe like a 70-30 split.
Yeah, things that
the big chunk for a big
Yes.
card. So I think that's where I'm going to go.
I'm going to write these down and let's post them somewhere here in the studio.
Done.
You know, sometimes you have those goals written down, kind of a little reminder.
Mm-hmm.
Little nudges are nice to have. So I'll make that a part of our improving our YouTube experience.
I love it. I love it.
There you go. $120. I think we're done.
Yeah, I quit.
No, that's not how it works, WWE. I quit.
Oh man. Well,
Dogs are done. God, they're pooped.
yeah.
I really worry like what's gonna happen in the middle of the night. I bet you Max wakes up and barks, or I bet you another file of mine. I told you the file was deleted, right? Of there.
Yeah.
Something weird's gonna happen tonight, and I fear it.
I'm going straight to the toilet when I get home. Not today, Satan. Not today. All right. It's been another fun show. For Chad, I'm Ricky, the hitchhiking ghost. Wishing all of you a one of one night.
Next week,
Yeah.
Kansas City Dan, why don't you come on and let's make a bet?
Yes.
How about that? How do you feel? How do you feel about that, Kansas City Dan?
Come on, Dan. Get on here. I got your back. We're gonna put Chad through the ringer if you come on. If he loses, if you win this somehow.
Well,
now,
Kansas City won't play this weekend, so by the
That's
time we
true.
record next week, he'll still be safe.
that's true.
And I have the field.
That's true. And I, for the record, I'm cheering for Chad as my co-host and friend and anti-Chiefs fan.
Yes.
But if Chad happens to lose, I got your back, Dan.
He does. It's true.
Oh, sounds like a plan. We're in. That's right. The first round bye. The first round bye, boys. We're gonna create a new tag team. Go for gold, baby.
Okay, we're gonna have to like figure out how we're going to do this bet wise. We'll have to have something. Maybe it's a card court type thing, or I don't know.
Yeah, we'll figure this out. I'll noodle it.
All
and, we'll figure out the format. But expect to be with us next week.
Maybe Steve will come be on my side.
I'm on your side. I told you I'm on your side.
But what about if I lose?
Well, I'm gonna make some suggestions as a backup.
Why
but-
do I feel like my nipples would be exposed?
Oh yeah, I'm thinking. You remember Janet? Hey, we're just over 20 years away from the Janet Jackson. We're probably exactly 20 years away. No, 21 from the Janet Jackson halftime incident.
Yeah.
And if you recall, around her nipple, she had a little sundial. I'm thinking 2 sundials, baby.
I hate you.
Oh, the other idea I had
Yeah.
is
I think we can do something with that.
Yeah.
I think there's something to be had there.
oh yeah, I think that'll be fun.
All right, everyone. Thanks for watching. If you haven't done so, like it, subscribe to it. If you're watching afterwards, please just leave a little comment below. It kind of helps promote that. And we should be back next Thursday. That's right. I want 2 Thursdays from now, Ricky.
Yeah.
I will be alone in a haunted mansion
What?
just outside of Kansas City. I think there's internet. Should we do a podcast? from
Hell
there?
yes. Dude, 100% chance Satan comes back for that one.
I'm going to be covered in sage head to toe.
Yeah.
I'm going to be look like, you know, those people who wear to sporting events. Like, I don't even know what I'm trying to say. You know, they're like covered in pom-poms head to toe.
Yeah.
That's going to be me with sage just walking around.
Oh, I got to get to work in the writer's room on that. What does Satan have to
So
say?
that's 2
2
weeks. 2
Okay.
weeks from now. All right, guys. We'll see you guys later.
All right, later.